Hello, my brothers and sisters in the Lord. God bless you. I pray that God is blessing you wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Now, let's get into this. Are you a Mary or a Martha? Are you a Mary or a Martha? Now, many of you have busy lives. Some of you work. Some of you even study. Some of you might even be young enough that you're in school. And some of you might even be parents, busy parents like myself. Now, as you know, I'm a busy mum of 8 children. And so my time is constantly consumed with taking care of the children from the minute I get up, and sometimes throughout the night if necessary. So my time is always consumed with looking after and raising my children. And I also, if some of you don't know, I also homeschool as well. So my time's fully booked, and it's very full. Amen. All glory be to God. But where do you prioritize God in your life? Is he the first? Is he the first in your life? Or is he an afterthought? Or is he the last thing that you think of and go to and fellowship with, after you've done everything that you need to be done, that you think needs to be done? It's worth giving this a deep thought. And the reason I say this is because, the Bible tells us, Jesus tells us to seek the kingdom of heaven first and all its righteousness. And all these things that we need will be added unto us. And so where do you fit God in your life? Do you tend to have more time for him when something goes wrong? Is that when you drop to your knees and all of a sudden God is the first thing and everything else goes out the window? Or is he your everything? Is he the first, the middle and the last and everything in between? Some people, I appreciate that you go to work and you study and all the rest of it. Cool. But where does God fit into all of that? Now, I know for me personally, as a busy mum, the first thing I do when I get up is I go into my prayer closet, what I will call my prayer closet. And the first thing I do is I pray. Before I start my day, I pray. Now, I used to be one of those people that everything else had to be done first. I had to do the cleaning, the cooking, washing the children, etc., etc., etc. And then I would pray and read my Bible. So I'm guilty of that myself as well. But God convicted me, and, I realized that I needed to put him as a priority above everything else. And so when that penny dropped for me, it was a game changer. It really was. And I started, the first thing I do in the morning, what I do is I'd get up, I set a routine for myself, and I would set my alarm clock for, say, 5:30. If my children got up at 7, I would wake up at 5:30 and I'd start praying, spend time in prayer and worship. And, if time would allow it, I'd sit down and I'd fit in reading the word, whether it was on my Bible, whether it was in the Bible, or whether it was a Bible app on my phone. And so, I've continued that routine where I get up super early before my children wake up, and I will go and I'll pray and I will have my fellowship time with God. And for me, the day doesn't start until I've done that. Nothing else gets done until I've done that. So that's just my routine. And I found that by having a routine, by having a set routine, and praying to God and asking him to help me be disciplined in my timing, it really was a game changer for me. So I want to just quickly take you to the book of Luke, chapter 10, where we read, it says, "Now it came to pass as they went, that he entered into a certain village, and a certain woman named Martha received him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary, which also sat at Jesus' feet and heard his word. But Martha was cumbered about much serving, and came to him and said, Lord, dost thou not care that thy sister have left me to serve alone? Bid her therefore that she help me. And Jesus answered and said unto her, Martha, Martha, thou art careful and troubled about many things, but one thing is needed, and Mary hath chosen that good part, which shall not be taken away from her. Very, very telling, the things that Jesus said to Martha, because basically what he's saying to her is, woman, why are you letting all these things consume you? Sit down, be like Mary, and focus on me, focus on God. These things, you know, they need doing, but you're consuming yourself with these things, so much so that you're getting irritated and you've got no peace. Martha was distracted. The simple fact is, Martha was distracted from focusing on Jesus. She was distracted by the cares of the world. You know, and because she focused on the things that needed doing, she didn't have any peace. But Mary focused on Jesus. Her priority was Jesus straight away. And she had peace within herself. You know, she knew that all these things, tidying up, serving food and all the rest of it, needed to be done. But before she did any of that, she sat down with Jesus and she had fellowship with him. And I think when we look at this story, it really does reflect how we are as human beings, in that sometimes we get so carried away with the cares of this world, so carried away with the things that we've got to do, that we lose sight of Jesus. We lose sight of the perfect peace within Jesus that we can have if only we just put him first in our life before everything else. You know, God knows that these things need doing. We know that these things need doing, but we need to prioritize God in our life. We need to put him first. And as Jesus said it, we need to seek him first and all his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to us. All the things that we need, including our peace. When we're rushing around, you know, trying to get things done and busying ourselves and getting consumed with things in life, problems, cares of the world, etc., etc., cooking, cleaning, going to work, you know, getting on that train because we're going to be late, and, you know, studying this for this essay because it's got to be done, you know, before we've spoken to God, we don't have any peace within ourselves, and we become depressed. You can become in danger of becoming depressed and burning out quickly because we don't sit down and take time to fellowship first with God and to focus on God. So I just wanted to share that with you, because I know that a lot of us, you know, maybe don't have routines in place, and I urge you to get some sort of a routine in place so that God comes first in your life. It's a game changer. I can't stress that enough. It is a game changer. It has been for me, and it definitely will be for you. So I'd like to end it here just by saying that, you know, go back and read that story in the book of Luke, chapter 10, verse 38 onwards, and just really study and really look into it, because it's very telling of how we can be as human beings, but what we need to do, it's very telling of how we are as human beings, and how we need to be. And, you know, when we focus on God, like I said before, you know, it's a game changer. When we put him first above all things, it is a game changer. You know, you can't have that peace within you and in your life until you start changing things around in your life. I hope this has blessed somebody. I pray that it has. God bless you. I'm Mum of Many. Please drop your comments below. Please don't forget to click the like, subscribe button, and share it if you think it might help somebody. Bye for now. God bless you.